Hi, my name is Prisha.
Can't stop, won't stop. And my name is Shaquita. And
Get down, baby.
We get down. I was like, really?
And take 4. Are the girls good?
They didn't bring no boys to the yard.
Did you call me mommy?
Jesus. This must be a good video. Jesus.
It's the parenting for me.
No, baby. Go upstairs. Hi, my name is Prisha.
And my name is Shaquita.
And welcome to Searching for Freedom. So today's video, we're just going to be talking about parenting and what that looks like during our faith, how that has changed over the years, and what God has taught us. Like, what does parenting look like for us?
Yeah.
That's where we're going.
That's where we're going. We're going to talk about the good, the bad, the ugly.
With me, I don't know. I feel like a lot of moms that I know, whether they're single or they're married, it doesn't matter. Like, we struggle with mom guilt. Like, it's out of this world. Have you, what do you do?
What's up? That's what I do.
Oh my God.
That's
Okay.
what I do.
So I just want to, sorry. I would have started talking. I would have had to keep that in there.
No.
I just kind of want to talk about it. Like, I feel like there's so many moms who struggle with mom guilt, who struggle with feeling like at times they're not necessarily a bad mom, but feel like a bad mom in those moments because they may not have done things the way that they wanted to, or they wish that they could have created something different for their children. How do you feel when it comes to this?
I would say for me, my kryptonite is me being a single mom. And not saying that it's that my son's dad is not involved, but the structure in the home. So that's where my guilt comes in, that especially with me having a son, like he's a male.
Right.
And so I'm like, oh my goodness, had I had waited for marriage, had I had, allowed God to deal with my broken heart prior to me being in a relationship and then having a son, then things would be different for my son. And sometimes I feel like he go through things that he shouldn't have to go through, if only I had waited. So that's where most of my guilt comes in, that I'm always motivating my son and encouraging him, but sometimes, and then especially for me, when I'm going through something, when I'm going through a hard time, and I feel like my son, he has to go through it with me. And so I'm always thinking like, man, if I had waited, even if it wouldn't have
known a little bit better,
right,
I could have handled this a little different.
Then my son won't have to go through these struggles with me. But I know on the bright side of it, it's good because he get to see the good, the bad, the ugly, and he get to see how mom responded. He got to see how mom leaned into God during those hard moments. But yeah, it gets rough for me.
No, I completely agree with everything you're saying. Like, and you hit it right on the head. Like, with my son, like I have a son and I have a daughter, and it's like, it's completely different. Like, anyone who has multiple children, like, you have to parent them so differently because they're completely different individuals. But when, like you were saying, like, as we are going through this walk, it's like you learn why God wanted you to do it the way that he designed it to be, because it wasn't his plan for it to be this difficult. This wasn't meant to be just you doing all the heavy lifting. It's like, okay, I worry about, okay, if I hadn't done this, like, there would be a male role model, and that's something that I feel guilty about all the time, because it's like, just any role model is not okay for my son,
Right.
And it's like, it has to be someone who can lead him back to God,
right?
And not even in regards to like a relationship or anything like that with me, but it's just like a male role model that can actually do that. And it's like, if I had just waited, if I had knew what I know, if I knew then what I know now, like, it would have been so different. But then I also think about it, because it's like, who's to know if Jaden would be who he is because of the things that I've gone through and the way that I've had to war, the way that we war now, like he gets to witness that. And my son is 11 now. So it's like he really pays attention. He sees that. He sees how we fight, how when I'm frustrated about something, when we go in our prayer closet and we war that way. Like he's seen us praying in the park. Like he witnessed those things. And yes, our children, your son and my daughter, seen it too, but they were younger at that age, so they weren't able to grasp it the way that he does. So it's like, even if it were different, like I don't know how different that would have made him, because him seeing my walk is what got him to even say, hey mommy, I want to get baptized. Like that summer, like I can never change that. And I still have that video on my phone. Like that's the one thing that I'm never going to delete. But it's just like, I don't like, yeah, in hindsight it's like, okay, if I could do it differently, it would be different. I of course choose a different route. But then it's like, would I really want to?
For me, I would say, I feel like I know that we're breaking generational curses, because I know my mom was a single mom, and her mom was a single mom, and her mom was a single mom. And for me, with me walking with Christ and just being so intentional about how I'm training him up in the way that he should go, and just even with the type of education that he received, and even God has his hands on it. Even God has his hands on it, because I remember one time I was like, oh my gosh, my son need a mentor, like he need a role model, and then all of a sudden, one day at church, this guy was like, hey, I see you with your son all the time, you guys are here, you're here doing a corporate prayer with your son, and I see how you are with him. I would like to mentor him and just show him what it's like to do things God's way as a male, from a male point of view. So even though I didn't do things God's way, his hands is still
on him.
His hands is still on him. And I know you tell me all the time, well, you've told me, like you're pretty much like, God still has a plan for your son. Like he still has a plan for him. So he don't need me, to guide Marcus, but he's chosen me. So it's like, I don't have to allow that guilt or that shame, because me not doing it God's way, it's not going to determine how my son turn out.
Definitely. And I feel like so often, like we wonder, like, because like just like we said, like we are imperfect, of course, and we're still going through this, and although we are on this journey, on this walk, we don't always get it right. And there are times where our flesh it rises up more than the Holy Spirit in us, and we get frustrated way quicker than we may want to. Or there may be times where, there was a video I just saw recently, and it was a mom just making a video about how she had to lock herself in the bathroom because she just needed some time. So just some quiet time. And like even simple things like that, where if you're a mom, just in general, doesn't matter if you're single or not, like you just need that time. But it's so difficult to get it sometimes, where you just have to be in the bathroom or lock yourself in your room just to get some silence to yourself. And sometimes that in itself can feel like a bad thing. You can feel guilty about that, because I don't know what sixth sense those children have. I can be in my room with my door open, I can be singing and dancing, I can be doing anything, and nobody will bother me. Not one child will come in there. They won't have words for me. They won't have questions for me. But let me tiptoe to my door and close it. Let me tiptoe. Their spidey senses start to tingling. And all you hear is knock, knock, knock. Knock, knock, knock. Really though? Okay. And then it's just like, I just need some time. I just need some time right now. And you feel guilty sometimes. Majority of the time, they don't need anything. Like they really don't. But what if,
And what about, I'm thinking about, sometimes I feel like kids would play off that emotion. That's just like, I think that was yesterday. My son, he hurt his finger, but he was fine. I checked on him, you know, he's okay, he's fine, he's good. And then he proceeds, you know, I'm spending the night in Mom's bed. And so I said, no, you're gonna sleep in your own room. And then he came back and he said, do you care about me? I said, what do you mean? He said, because you won't let me sleep in your bed. I have a hurt finger and you won't let me sleep in your bed. And, you know, I could tell I've grown because in the past, I probably would say, oh my gosh, yes, you know, come get in my bed. You're right, your finger is hurt. But now because God has been working on me, and it's like,
you don't have to feel guilty about
I don't
that.
have to feel guilty. I don't have to feel guilty about that. And I told him, my response was, when I'm buying you food, when I'm giving you what you need, when I'm doing what you want, you know, that I'm the best mom in the world, but because I'm not doing things your way or doing what you want me to do.
Now I don't care.
Now I don't care. So
yeah, no, definitely. Like we talked about this too. It's just like, listen, the kids will think that like you are just like, you don't care, you don't love them when it's convenient. And it's just like, let me go get a piece of paper. Let's take inventory right now,
okay.
Sweetheart.
Okay. Okay.
And it's a grace. I feel like it's truly a grace, the different ways God is showing me how to parent them. And not even just because they're two different ones, but just in different seasons of their life as they get older individually. And it's like, sitting in a corner is not always gonna work. Like there are different methods, and I feel like God has given me patience, so much patience. Like I still need more, but I feel like there is a grace there, and it's just like with him teaching me, like, because I remember like when my son was small, like just trying to figure this out because I was a teenage mom. And it's like, I didn't know what I'm doing. I still don't know what I'm doing most of the time. Like, it's an everyday process. There is no manual. But so much you wish that you could have done differently sometimes. Just things that you wish you could have done better. Things that you wish that you could have had in place prior to them coming. It's like sometimes you can let that eat away at you. And the way that God has redeemed my thinking of it, of allowing me to grow up with them and go through this walk with them so that they can truly see that representation. Because I know one of the things that we talk about all the time is that we never got to see that representation of what it looks like. So we feel like we are doing this on our own and just trying to, well, not like on our own, but we are doing this, and it's like God is having to show us this, and it's frustrating because we haven't seen that before. We don't know what it's like. We haven't seen someone go in the prayer closet and just go to war on what they're dealing with. So there's been so many cycles where we had to finally learn that and get sick and tired of it. But it's like, because they're witnessing us go through this, they're truly seeing this because we're so new into it.
Right.
You know? So I feel like it's like God, he's just been showing me like the blessings behind it.
Yeah, and then it's good because I mean we have community, you know, so we have support, and it's not just you know, you and I with being best friends and our kids being together, but there's also others, you know, others where our kids are growing up in a godly community, and you know they have good examples, and so I just want to say that, you know, hey, you didn't get it right, I didn't get it right, Brisha didn't get it right, we didn't get it right, but you know, God will meet you, you know, where you are. And, you know, we always say that God has a plan and purpose for us all. So even if we don't do it God's way, but we choose to repent and choose to, you know, continue to lean on God, then he will bring you further than where you think you could ever go, especially in this parenting thing. Because like you said, there's no manual. I mean, we all have an idea what we think we should be, you know, as a mom or as a parent, or we always say, you know, well, you know, I'm like that. Right. we always say, you know, well, I'm gonna do better than my mom, well, I'm gonna be better than my dad, but it's like, yeah, it might not turn out that way.
And then you realize what your parents actually had to deal with when you become a parent, and it's like, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry I put you through that. Like, but we just wanted to make a video for the parents out there, the mothers, the dads, because we understand that it is so trying at times. Like, it can be difficult, but no matter what your parenthood looks like, look, God, he's in the midst of it. And what we've learned is that God entrusted us to take care of these little people. Like, they are his children. He just gave them to us on loan for us to raise them up in the way they're supposed to go. He's not gonna be out here just allowing anything to happen to his children. Like, just like we are his, they are his too, and he cares for them, and he loves them so much. So we don't have to be afraid. We don't have to worry, and we just want to be transparent with you guys. Like, parenting it's a blessing, but it's frustrating at times.
Absolutely.
You
got this. And I also want to say, when the enemy comes in like a flood, the Bible says that God will raise up a standard against him. So when the enemy come in and start telling you lies, hey, you're not a good mother, or you could have done better, or because of your past, that's the reason why your kids are struggling, or you feel like you're not able to provide like you want to provide. Know that God he's still going to chase after you. He's still going to come for you. He's still going to be there for your children. He's still going to be peace. He's still going to bring peace and comfort to you, and he'll make sure that you're not lacking in anything. So I just want to say, I'm proud of you, sis. I'm proud of you, bro. Keep doing it. I don't know if you needed to hear that, but I'm proud of you. Keep doing what you're doing. Continue to lean in closer to God. I feel like the best thing we can do as parents is lead our kids to Christ, because he's the one that's going to take it from there. And I feel like for me as a parent, if I didn't do anything else, I at least wanted to teach my son how to pray, because I know, prayer has gotten me out of, well, not gotten me, but it's helped me through a lot of situations. So I always teach my son, hey, if you can't do anything else, mommy may not be there the way that, well, mommy won't be there the way that God can do it. Daddy won't be there. Friends won't be there the way that God can do it. But know that you can lean on him, and that's that foundation that I encourage every parent to, build for your child.
Definitely.
Is to have that relationship with God.
Yes. So pray with the kids, pray for your kids, and know that God's got it. Thanks for watching another one of our videos. See you next time.
See you next time.
Hey guys, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Smash that notification bell so you won't miss another one of our videos. Thanks for watching.